All right, so excited to have five-star chef Ivan Flowers back on Big Blend Radio today for our world party, and he's going to share how to make his sweet and spicy salmon recipe. And you can see Chef Ivan's recipes from over the years. He's been on our show, I'm going to say like 10-something years.
It's been a
10.
long time.
We're on our 11th year, so I think 11 years.
I think so.
Yeah, so you can see his recipes. Go to blendradioandtv.com. Just type in Chef Ivan. His salmon recipe is there too. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. And it'll also be featured in Big Blend Radio and TV magazine for the summer issue. Chef Ivan, you can keep up with him on Facebook and Twitter at Chef Ivan Flowers. Chef Ivan, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. We're not that far from you. We're in Yuma, Arizona. So what? 3.5 hours from San Diego. So we're inching closer as we get there.
You're around the corner.
Yeah. So how's life in San Diego? Do you have sunshine and ocean mist, or what's going on? Because you're out at the beach area.
A lot of wildflowers. It's probably going to be a high of 72, and blue skies and blue seas. That's very nice.
Nice. Cool. Very, very nice. And how's school going? I know everyone, Ivan teaches up in Temecula in Southern California and is a culinary instructor there, teaching the teens how to cook. How's it going over there?
It's going well. We have 35 days of school left, so they're insane. So, the last couple of, last month and a half, 2 months is pretty wild. They're getting the itch, especially the seniors. Seniors are really wild. It's called senioritis. So they're wild.
I thought we were getting senioritis.
Yes. Plus the prom is coming, the prom. So they're getting ready.
Oh, it's like, who am I going to hook up with,
Yes.
So that's that's always fun, Do they, when they have their prom, do they get it catered, or do you think they should, cater it for themselves, or no?
They go down, I think they're going down to the Natural History Museum in Balboa Park in San Diego. So buses will be available, as well as some of the students take limos, and some will rent hotel rooms so that they can stay overnight. It's all different. Yeah, I know, right? Oof. I never had a prom, so I don't know. But my wife went to proms, and she told me stories, so.
I had prom when I was in South Africa in high school, and we didn't have, I don't remember limos, but I won't go any further. We had a good time.
Right.
I'm just looking at you saying you should shut up now.
I just remember coming home at sunrise, but all of us partied on the beach. We had a beach party afterwards. We went to the school dance and said, okay, that's that, and let's go to the beach and party. And that's what we always did. We used to always end the evening running into the ocean.
That is not the story you told me.
Okay. All right. Now, Chef Ivan, salmon, this recipe, sweet and spicy glazed crispy salmon. And I was like, this sounds global. And looking at all the ingredients like chili, sesame oil, and sweet chili, and wasabi, and samba something that I can't pronounce.
Sambal oleg.
What is?
Yeah, it's Asian chili paste. Yeah, sambal oleg. Yeah.
It's Asian and it's got samba.
Paste.
Sounds like I thought it was going to be Spanish.
No,
what do I know?
Asian. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a little Asian. Basically, it's an Asian dish. It's actually very simple. So
Asian inspired.
So simple. Yeah.
I have some questions about salmon.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I know that you're an instructor, you're a teacher, you've taught us over the years, and I know that there's no such thing as a stupid question, right?
No.
So salmon, Nancy and I are allergic to fish, so I always have more questions than I probably should, but salmon, do they only come from Alaska and the Pacific Northwest, or is salmon something that people can buy anywhere around the world?
No,
that's local.
Salmon is Pacific. Salmon is Atlantic. It's pretty global. The thing you want to stay away from is they do a farm-raised salmon. It's usually a farm-raised Atlantic salmon. And when they do that, they're feeding it color and additives and certain kinds of fish meal to give it to bring it to market. It's the kind of salmon that's not very red. It's like a slight orangey pink. and it's actually not good for you as much as a wild salmon. Wild salmon is very red. Copper River, for example, Alaskan salmon, it's super red. And that has really the omegas that you need. It has nutrients because it's eating wild. It's eating its environment. The other fish is raised artificially, and they're feeding it. And there's no comparison at all. On a flavor-wise, there's nothing like wild salmon. I mean, it's magnificent.
Wow. Okay. So stay away from the farm raised. And isn't that
Yes.
the same thing like tilapia? Is that am I tilapia?
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it's all farm raised. Tilapia, you see a lot of it, and tilapia used to be very cheap, and now you see big prices on tilapia. But tilapia is not. I don't use tilapia. I stay away from tilapia.
Okay. Now, when you get salmon, you want it to be fresh, or does it matter if it's been frozen?
Preferably always fresh, very, very, very red, bright red. And very important, when you buy it, you have to ask the fishmonger or the supermarket, you have to make sure they take the pin bones out. Those are small little bones that run down the center of the fish that you take out with tweezers. A lot of times you'll see they'll put salmon on sale, especially Copper River, at a very, very good price. And then you bring it home and the pin bones are still in it. It's very, very dangerous. You don't want to have those bones in that fish because you can get pin bone out. And the way that this dish is done is I leave the skin on, and that's how it becomes crispy. Because skin on fish is absolutely delicious when you sear it.
Okay, so you want to keep that up because you rarely see that. It seems that every time I see fish, they've taken the skin off. And I remember you coming on a show years ago talking about like kind of get over that kind of stuff, and even had that one recipe where it's like the whole fish, even leaving the eyeballs in and stuff. That people freak out about that stuff, but you're saying you're missing how it should be. It was that whole.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you buy whole fish, that's how you really tell it's fresh. The eyes are clear. The scales aren't coming off. It's firm to the touch. The gills are bright red because it's full of blood, and the inside smells like cucumber. So when I was in the industry, I bought all my fish whole and then broke it down. A lot of times you'll see salmon in the supermarket. The skin is actually on it, but they've got it on the bottom. And the skin is kind of hidden, so it's upside down, but the skin is on it. But it's so funny because in Europe they'll always eat a lot of whole fish with skin on. Yet in America you don't see it a lot. And taking certain fish, you definitely want to leave the skin on for flavor. It also causes less shrinkage of the fish when you cook it.
We don't want shrinkage. Anyhow.
No.
Just
moving right along.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the
this
pool.
recipe.
It's the pool. I was in the pool. Yes,
It was the pool. So this is your skin-on wild salmon, everyone, wild salmon fillets, and so you have 4 7-ounces of them, and then you do shelled edamame. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes.
That's soybeans, right? Edamame.
Yes.
Okay. And that's good for you. Isn't that high in protein?
Yeah. High in protein.
Okay.
You've got the omegas in the salmon. You've got the protein in the salmon. You've got the healthy fats. I mean, it's a great, healthy way to eat.
Wow. So you're putting the salmon when you serve it on the edamame. And then,
on the edamame.
Okay, let's talk about the cooking part, because now you're going to, and you heat the oil for 3 minutes. You have canola oil, and you say nonstick saute pan, and then, so now you're doing skin side down when you cook this.
Skin side down, yeah. You want that pan hot. You want that skin. You're gonna make a couple of little slits in the skin so the fish doesn't curl. So you make 2 cuts, and you want that when it hits that pan, it's gonna move. It's not gonna stick, and that skin is gonna start to cook almost to the point where it's like a light potato chip. You don't want it too dark. You just want it golden, a nice sear, but crispy. And then you're going to flip it, and you're going to cook the other side, and you're just going to let it rest a little bit. And then in that same pan, you throw in your umami, and your lemon, a little salt and pepper, and just very quickly saute it. And then what you want to do is when you put that salmon on top of that edamame, my wife's correcting me, you combine a little sweet chili oil. I have chili sesame and sweet chili, and you brush that skin just light to get it glazed. You don't want to put too much on because you don't want to break that crispy skin. And then on top of that, I do a dollop of wasabi and sambal ulic, and then finish with scallions. So by the time you cut into that fish, you've got the sambal, you've got the sesame, you've got the sweet chili. It just works. You've got the lemon, and yet it's just a really balanced, great flavor profile, and it's light. It's just it's wonderful when it's done right.
That's perfect.
The important thing is you want to cook fish till it's a little transparent. You want it a little transparent in the center. What's that? Translucent. Oh, translucent. Oh, transparent. Translucent.
I was going to say, you're getting into politics.
I'm getting into politics. But you want it it's a little red, almost like you would say a little medium rare if you were doing with meat. And that's
chicken.
fish.
Okay.
No, you never want to do that with chicken. But,
no, I mean the color of raw chicken.
Yes.
Raw chicken.
Yes. Anytime you overcook fish, it's dead. It's hard. It flakes. It's mealy. It's dry, and it falls apart. You need a succulence to this, a moisture. Plus, you got a lot of umami working here on the fish. A load of umami.
See, that's it. Now you got to take a sip of champagne or a beer, whatever it is, on your Sunday, Chef Ivan, and you've got to say edamame, umami 10 times real fast in a row.
Translucent,
wow.
Transparent. Oh, my God.
Really. I know. Then we will start sounding like politicians. You know how half of them can't. Oh,
right.
Okay, I won't get there.
Right.
I'll behave.
Confifi.
I'll behave.
Confifi. Confefe, right? I'm doing a confefe sauce.
Isn't that a drink?
Yeah, really, really. So with this, because it's always interesting. It's again like this could go. You could probably do this with a different fish, right? Or could we do it with chicken? Okay.
Yeah, you can do this glaze with chicken. Why not? Get a nice, I would do a nice skin-on boneless, and really, really get that skin crisp, either in a frying pan or under a broiler. And sure, why not? Absolutely, this works.
Okay, and other fish you could do it with? Is there a specific? If someone didn't want to do salmon?
Sure, you can do this with sea bass. You can do this with snapper. You can do this with a Chilean sea bass. You can do this with trout. Really, any kind of skin-on fish, this works oily or not oily. It'll work on both fish. You can do this with mackerel, for sure.
Okay.
Skin-on halibut is fantastic to do halibut skin-on. Okay.
And now, what are you going to have wiggy-wise? What's your drink of choice to go with this?
With this salmon, if you wanted to have red wine, God bless you, rosé, a light chard, a buttery chard, a champagne, a Sauvignon Blanc. My wife's saying Sauvignon Blanc would work really well. Pinot would work really well with this. Grenache, she knows her wines. She also knows her spelling, thank God.
Hey, listen, when are you both going to do your cookbook?
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
Yeah, I know. And I have the summers off, so I should work on
Ivan.
it. Yeah.
I'm just saying, the two of you,
I know.
And all of Tracy's, baking, all her bakings, she knows her baking.
It's not only her baking, her vegetarian food is like.
Yeah.
I've been a chef for 35 years, and I have never, ever, ever tasted vegetarian food like this, where number one, the mouthfeel is there, so you never feel like you're missing anything, and the flavor. Her flavor profiles are so amazing. I get jealous, and she laughs at me, but I do. What she can do with vegetables and crisps and breads and mushrooms and sauces, and she doesn't do, and avocados, and she doesn't use a lot of fat. Is the simplicity is as great as the complexity, if that makes sense. You know, she cooks everything separate and then I mean, it's like I get pissed. I get a little pissed.
Well, you know, listen, wives are supposed to do that. That's you know.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm just
believe
kidding.
you said that.
I'm kidding. But listen, what about, you know, pickle? Everybody, you know, you got to look at pickle.
Get those cards and letters coming in.
Pickle. See, now if you go to YouTube, type in Chef Ivan Flowers. He's cooking with his pickle. And pickle, now just to clarify, pickle is the little doggy. And I want to know, in this cookbook, is pickle going to have, you know, pickles recipes in there? Like, you know, is the pickle going to make dog food?
You know, that's a good angle. Different kinds of dog food for the pickle. Yes, which they're doing anyway commercially, right? They're doing all of these fresh pet and all this gourmet dog food and cat food and different things. It's very interesting.
Well, I think well, if you watch commercials on TV, all they're doing is appealing to human taste. But we got to watch what pets are getting fed these days. It's a big deal. You know, they're getting cancer just like humans.
Yeah. Yes, they don't need all that meat. You know? It's just more meat that needs to be raised for the pets now, when in reality, I think cats are carnivores and dogs are herbivores. So they really don't
omnivores.
Right. So they don't need, you know, where the first thing is beef or salmon or lamb or duck. What they're doing is now you have to create more, because they're also doing things with pets where they take a pill and they don't get ticks for 8 months, and they're finding out, like, we're killing humans with bad medicine. Now we're killing our pets with these medicines that are. So put something poisonous into your body, of your dog, to kill the ticks, and the dog could drop dead. Here we go with the pets now. It's not enough to kill humans. We got to kill pets. That's a whole other story.
You know, there it is. Now, okay, so because this is our world party, I don't want to talk about dead pets, but I do want to talk about this. The one thing I want to bring back is, also as a chef, you've traveled all over the world, right? And you flew around with air, like, obviously in airplanes, but weren't you like a chef on an airline, and did that help, going to these different countries, help you build your culinary, like your profile of using different ingredients?
I was a steward on a charter, and the charter would leave you. We went all over the world. And in the beginning, they didn't have a ton of planes, and they would drop you off sometimes 2 and 3 weeks. Europe, Asia, the Middle East, and they would leave you. So we would go. I love cooking, and I would actually go into a lot of restaurants. I'd eat there, and then I'd, you know, look about like the kitchens and what's going on. I went into Chez Lyon in Belgium, up in Paris, you know, different places, and I had nothing to do. You know, I was off for 3 weeks with per diem. So you would eat the food, and then you'd knock on the door and say, "How did you make this?" And, you know, it was glorious. You'd go to supermarkets back then, and the only thing that was in a can was pate or, you know, or something. And everything was fresh meat, fresh bakery, fresh flowers, right? Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. And I was amazed how people ate and lived their life, and how they ate a meal for 3 hours and talked about the farm and politics and their family, and, you know, but that's changing. I mean, that's changing so much. It's scary.
Wow. Yeah. I think there's something to be said about travel and getting out into other places around the world, and there's a community out there, and it seems like, we were just chatting with a travel writer, and everyone, her segment's coming up May 10th, Diane Dobry, and she spent a lot of time in Hungary and imported Hungarian wines to America, actually. And she was just talking about how people just go to the park, and they have live music in the park. People are eating, drinking wine, and it's all ages together. And I think that's something that we need to have a little bit more of. And I think we're slowly getting there. I think technology is pushing us out. As Nancy and I now going to all these different parks, Ivan, we're seeing, going to community parks more than we did on the first tour that we did. And we're seeing more and more of how families are out there using these parks, and it's really nice to see. They're having their picnics, and I'm like, okay, there's a better shot in the world when you see that. So I think in a way we are changing in a positive, Maybe it's here in Yuma that we're seeing more of that, and Tucson was like that. Just kind of like a very wide range of people in one place, and everybody seems to be having fun.
And they're bringing their pets.
People need to get off their ass and go shopping and stop ordering food online and having it delivered or having stuff where they cook it at night. They need to get off their butts and pick a tomato, pick an avocado, taste a fresh cherry, take a look at bread that's freshly baked. Move. Get up and move. Everything's on the computer now. I need a roll of toilet paper, so I'm just going to call and they'll deliver it in 2 hours.
Get
off your butts and move.
Toilet paper by drone.
Yeah, they just drop the roll and run.
That's it. And then some the kids coming home from school steal it from the front door, the front porch.
Really.
Yeah, all these Amazon deliveries being stolen, right?
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I agree. We need to get out there and go to more farmers markets. We just did it in our current issue of Parks and Travel magazine. It just came out. We did a whole feature on farmers markets and the importance of farmers markets, and we featured 4 up in northern and central California that we experienced. And as travelers, that's something that we leave out, and it's important that we go to the farmers markets and taste that fresh fruit or piece of cheese from the locals, because that's where you get the truly artisan foods. You see the local entertainment, and I don't know, we need to do that when we travel out, not just at home. That should be part of what we see and do. The market.
It's important. I have kids that have never had an asparagus. They don't know what it tastes like. They've never had a cantaloupe. They don't know what it tastes like. They don't know certain things. A papaya, they've never seen it. They've never tasted it. Mushrooms, they're afraid of mushrooms. Can you imagine if I did a lesson on soft-shell crabs? When the season hit, you fry the whole thing up and you put it on a little bun, they would freak out. I had one young student last year. We were showing them how to cut a chicken. So I took out, the liver and stuff on the giblets, and he passed out on the floor. He just fainted. Hello.
Give them.
Hello.
You got to give them that big whole fish, with the eyes in it.
But it is weird. They're missing out on things like growing their own food in the garden, which is really great for kids, and then also like walking into a real bakery where you can watch them make bread, and those smells that come from real bakeries.
It's like tortilla factories.
Yeah.
I like watching that. And what I think that everyone has to do is go to the taffy factories. When you can see them make taffy, that's cool.
Right.
I like taffy.
Yeah.
That's good to see them do.
They're so hooked on sugar. A lot of these kids are so hooked on sugar. It's ridiculous. Hot Pockets makes their day. Really their whole vocabulary. That's why we try to teach them so differently. Pizza and burgers and fries and crazy kind of combinations where there's too much cheese, too much fat, too much white flour. They don't realize that, what white flour does to their body, how it becomes pure sugar, or, a lot of meat, a lot of consumption of beef at an all-time level. And now to use the word greasy, fatty, is done all the time. Extra cheesy, because we have so much dairy in this country, they're pushing the dairy out. We have so much beef. And, when I grew up, it was lean. When something was fatty, it was not that good. When something was greasy, it was not that good. There are kids that eat their lunch and dinners in 7-Elevens. They'll get a big bite and a huge soda for less than $3. So they'll get pizza and wings, and it's really, really cheap, and it's processed beyond belief. So.
Yeah, man, it's well, I think hopefully we'll get there further. We just keep educating, and that means it's educating adults and as well as kids. And I think it's awesome that you're, in the kitchen with them and teaching them all these different things. It's true. We go to a market, like a grocery store, not a farmer's market. Well, now we have to bag our own, right? And that's always interesting. And then everybody yells at you for doing it wrong, and the machine yells at you for doing it wrong, and you're like, "Why can't
item?
Why
in
are we?"
The bag?
I know. And then now we have fun because the one grocery store tells everybody exactly what you bought, so that is fun.
Yeah,
so now
really
we're shopping according to the computer talking.
Right.
Mango. One
Put your mango in the bag.
Right,
I know,
right.
but so much fun. But but how many times I'd buy because I love cooking with leeks. I love making leek soup.
Leeks are good for you.
I have a thing about leeks, and
Yeah.
I tried. Well, they said the French women, we drink leek soup and drink red wine, and that's why they're so, skinny. And I'm like, okay, I'll do that. That's fine.
It's part
I
of
can
the
have my wine.
paradox. Yeah. The French paradox.
Right. But how many times in the grocery store, in the checkout, that they didn't know what a leek was? And it's like they don't. I'm going, you're in the market here. That's a leek.
Put
What's
your
a leek?
in the bag.
Right.
I know.
Right. Well, you want to know the
leek.
kicker with all of this. Cooking is really easy. This literally takes minutes. It's so fast. It's minutes. But guess what? You have to go and you have to pick up the ingredients. But if you have them in the house, and if some of them are frozen, you want to defrost them, so be it. Do your grocery shopping. And it's like, I was talking with Tracy. She goes out and buys chicken breasts for 88 cents on the bone, and she does this incredible sugar-free jus, and we use it from everything from chicken salad to sandwiches to different things. And, she's made enough. $4 buys like a huge amount, and we have it for X amount of days, and we're fine. People are tired, and they want instant gratification. They I got to put millennials are saying cereal in a bowl, pouring milk on it now is too much work. When you reach that point, you might as well inject yourself into a Jetsons movie, where the little door opens up and everything comes out. You have to move, you have to cook, you have to prepare. And guess what? The payoff is flavor and health. So what the hell?
It's fun. It's creative. It is fun. Even as we travel, it's like, okay, well, what do we have here? What can we do? And half the times, there's no cooking involved. So okay, who has what breads, and what's the produce like, and okay, what are we going to make? It's always some kind of salad, and I'm scared about when we leave the Southwest. I'm paranoid about not having avocados. I'm scared because I think we eat avocado as that's our main source of protein. It's the healthy oils for us, because we don't eat fish. So avocados, everything.
Huge.
What's going to happen, Ivan? When you lived
in,
back east, were they there? Were avocados back east?
Not as
I'm
much.
Scared.
Not as much. Now they are. But when I was my parents never ate an avocado in their life. They didn't even know what it looked like. I didn't eat avocados. I didn't know what they were. When we go shopping, Tracy and I go shopping, she dances in the aisle. She does a dance. And she dances.
The Avo dance.
She dances, and she shows me. She holds it up. So if it's like fresh bread, she'll hold it and dance. If the cherries are in season, it's like she dances the cherry dance. She goes to the produce, with the radishes, and she's got the little skinny jeans on and little sneakers.
Ooh.
And people are looking at her. She don't give a shit. It's like she's dancing. She's dancing.
Ivan and Tracy in the aisle. I could imagine
right?
now. Here comes
now. Dancer, aisle 11.
Yes, drop the avocado.
When she sees a sale, like she'll go around and she'll buy chicken for me, if it's like 79 cents, then she really starts to dance because she loves the deal. But you know something?
Okay, that's it.
Food is so expensive.
Yeah. I was going to say, when we come back to San Diego,
we're going to go shopping.
We're going to go shopping with you and Tracy. I'm going to make a video.
That's what we'll do. That's exactly it. Well, you give us a
recipe.
We'll all go shopping. We'll make it and then video.
Yeah, but we'll take Ivan down the aisle where there's all the canned food and watch Ivan freak out.
Yeah.
Don't eat this. Look how many ingredients are. You see, it's got all those things. That's bad. Look at the sodium. We'll do the sodium aisle. I can imagine.
Yeah.
And Tracy will be on the other side going, "Come here, there's avocados. I can do a dance."
Yeah. Yes. Dances the whole time. Dances the whole time.
But if you get when things are in season, it's cheaper. That's how you save money, by eating according to nature. If nature says, well, avocados are in season. See, I get really, the avocado, that's going to be an interesting thing as we go. But we may find this area has berries. Yesterday, was it Friday, Mary on our show was talking about how there was cranberry bogs up in Washington State. I had no idea we had cranberries up there. So,
yes,
you know.
Yeah, I used to live in Washington State. They have a lot of interesting stuff up there in Washington State. Yeah,
lots of
beautiful.
berries.
Oh, I love berries. They're so good for you. Well, Chef Ivan, we have a cool song for you today. We have a song that's called Fish Fever. You know, this is from James Saunders over in South Africa and Cape Town, and he's an avid fisherman. He will spend every day on the beach fishing if he could. I know that for a fact. He loves it, and it's always cool because he takes all these awesome photos and puts them up on Instagram for us to see of the ocean. And Cape Town is beautiful. I mean, that whole area, Hermanus, where he's based out of, that is amazing. And you know, that's how people live over there. They fish.
Yes.
You know.
And there's fish there. It's one of the few areas left on the planet in that area where there's fish is still somewhat abundant in that area. So they're actually catching.
Exactly.
Fresh fish, not farmed, fresh. Yes.
Fresh, right out of the ocean and right onto the braai over there. That's what they call the barbecue.
Yes.
So here it is, everyone. Fish Fever, again, Chef Ivan's recipe is up on blendradioandtv.com. You'll see it in Big Blend Radio and TV magazine, the summer issue coming up at the end of May. And again, thanks everyone for IFTWA, the International Food, Wine, Travel Writers Association, for sponsoring today's show. We've got Fish Fever coming up next, and you can keep up with James Saunders at jamessaundersmusician.com. And after this, we've got some tropical travel talk coming up. So thanks so much for joining us, Chef Ivan, and say hi to Tracy and Pickle.
You're welcome, ladies. I will. All right, take care.
Thanks. Take care, and we'll see you in the grocery aisle.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's the early morning anticipation, heading for the shoreline and the sea. The secret place is always miles away, secret place of mystery. And the mist will finally clear with the daybreak drawing near. It's the magic, familiar scene. When the great unknown lies at your feet, you feel the primal pull so sweet as it pulls you from the deep. So the weapons of war are loaded, waiting for the ride. Is a sliding number 3 with a dingle dangle clip on. There she goes. It's the perfect poetry. Don't think too much, don't pray too hard. Relax your busy mind, play it cool, be on your guard. Just sing, you'll hear the music of a screaming multiply. In 1 second you will leap 100 yards. It's a fever, heart pounding in my ears. It's a fever, heart pounding in my ears. It's a fever, where will it go from here? Go from here. There's a rush of blood running through your veins, liquid adrenaline